Hi everybody, we've got some really nice natural light going on today in the studio, and I wanted to take a look at this. The FeiyuTech, I believe I'm pronouncing that right, gimbal. And as you can see here, I've got it already balanced and set up, and I'm going to skip through a lot of the stuff that you can see in a lot of the other reviews, and I want to get to the good stuff about this because, well, this is going to be one of my shortest reviews ever. Let's just power the thing up and let's get right to it. And we got the thing, it turned on, and hey, there we go. We have this gimbal thing. It seems to be working okay, but let's just hold it on for a few seconds. Now, usually right about now, it'll actually start vibrating. Maybe I'm going to get lucky today. Maybe my balance is just ever slightly so perfectly better, because I did make a minor adjustment on this. But right here, there is a OLED display, and you can see it's blank. And that's because the firmware is corrupted. How did I do that? I used the company's firmware updater on the iOS device. Now, when I got this, there was one version of the app. A couple days later, they had a new version of the app, ran the firmware updater because there was an update in the firmware, and we all update firmware when the manufacturer puts it out, right? What could go wrong? Well, the display doesn't work. It seems to be alive. It seems to talk to the app. A lot of things seem to be working okay. But, well, what good is this without, well, hello, wake up. It's on. It's definitely on. I can feel the motors working. Well, at least it's not vibrating. That was one issue I had with this, was vibration. The other issue was, if you set up the auto rotation, that's basically time-lapse mode, it would just start drifting. So over the course of, say, 2 or 3 minutes, I might start out like this, and by the end, it would end up like that. I contacted the manufacturer a few times, and they were nice enough people. They responded to me, but it'd take 2 days to get a response, which is just totally ridiculous, but I get it. They're in China, time zones. Their English, not so good, but we communicated. Anyway, they were really nice, and they eventually sent me a USB serial port adapter, and I was like, what's this? It's a little tiny USB dongle that uses the totally wrong connectors for a serial port. It uses the USB port in and out. It's stupid. So a bunch of short stories here. They have a Mac version, but it's not on the G6 Plus download page. You have to go to the G5 page download. And on the Mac, the hardware does recognize once you load the driver, but the hardware doesn't talk to this. I tried this, I borrowed a laptop under Windows 10, and well, their updater app didn't see the hardware. And apparently there's a tutorial available that is all in Chinese, literally with English subtitles, and you can't read what's in the contextual menu, but I think what they meant was you had to use an emulation mode. Really, guys? I mean, you're selling this into the English market. You should run your screen captures on a machine running English for your English-speaking market. And what about Spanish or French or German or any other of the dozen other major languages in the world? I don't know. Anyway, wow, this is well, see, this is just flopping around. It should hold its position. And it has a couple of different modes, but because this is out, you can't see what those are about. And I started playing with this. I started getting a feel for it because, well, I wanted to show you some cool footage with it and show you, hey, it works great, but I can't. I wasn't too thrilled with the performance when it was working. It's got another button on here. It's really kind of clunky. Oh, wait, oh, look, I get a little indication on there. So it's not dead. It's just the firmware on this is corrupted. Hello. Does this want to work? No, it's the motor strength is screwed up. So the other problem with their new app is that it's incredibly slow to communicate to the device. I mean, it's like 30 or 45 seconds to set the motor strength. Are we for real here? I mean, this should be set, go, bump, bump, done. It shouldn't be, it's like the whole thing is rebooting or loading all the parameters in and out of its firmware. I don't know. But what I do know is that the app is so incredibly slow and clumsy. It's just absolutely frustrating to use. And, you know, there's only one thing that I have to say that I'm going to do with this. And yeah, that's right. I just threw it away. It's a piece of garbage. Now, they were really nice people. We'll probably get something worked out to do a refund, which is really what I want. And I'm buying a Ronin S, and that's it. And that's the end of this review for the FeiyuTech G6 Plus. Oh, hey, and after I threw it, look, I didn't break it. I mean, pretty good build quality. I'm impressed. It's 5 to throw. But, camera, you're supposed to say pointing forward. All right, watch that. I have no clue. This is just, well, I'm sorry, it's garbage. It should be better. It's just not. And by the way, the reason I bought this was because the GoPro Karma handle, I mean, it works. But one of the real big problems with it is the battery is built into the handle. And once that battery is done, you're into like a, I don't know, a 10, 12, 14-hour charge cycle, which, by the way, if you try and charge the battery in the handle of this, it was literally 18 hours. I'm going to shut this off for whatever reason. And if you unscrew the bottom, it's got a replaceable battery, which was another big reason I bought this. And it was maybe $50 more actually than the Karma Grip. One thing to be aware of with these rechargeable lithium batteries, some of these have an extended tip top and some of them have a top that's flush. Why on earth would we have two tip types on a common size of battery? I don't know. These guys use the flush one, but even if you do accidentally, like me, get the wrong one, it'll still work. You just can't screw it in quite as tight, but it works just fine. You hear that? It powered up. Woo! Yeah, it's acting pretty crazy, and it's got some controls. Actually, the thumb, this thing drives me crazy. It's exactly in the wrong spot because the handle's too short and whatever. No, I'm not going to throw it again, should I? I'm not going to throw it again. I got to return this. All right, guys, just pass on the FeiyuTech G6 gimbal because it's not worth your time.